They just can't help themselves. They want to keep you in chains.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This time.
Are you ready to get down?
ladies and gentlemen,
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. It is Quisha King. Yes, that's right. Quisha with a Q. And today, well, just listen. Here's what the governor said.
In the state of Florida, our education standards not only don't prevent, but they require teaching Black history, all the important things. That's part of our core curriculum. This was a separate course on top of that for advanced placement credit. And the issue is we have guidelines and standards in Florida. We want education, not indoctrination. If you fall on the side of indoctrination, we're going to decline. If it's education, then we will do this course. So when I heard it didn't meet the standards, I figured, yeah, they may be doing serious. It's way more than that. This course on Black history, what's one of the lessons about? Queer theory. Now, who would say that an important part of Black history is queer theory? That is somebody pushing an agenda on our kids. And so when you look to see they have stuff about intersectionality, abolishing prisons, that's a political agenda. And so that's the wrong side of the line for Florida standards. We believe in teaching kids facts and how to think, but we don't believe they should have an agenda imposed on them. When you try to use Black history to shoehorn in queer theory, you are clearly trying to use that for political purposes.
Here's what CNN tried to make him sound like.
Governor DeSantis defending his decision to block a new advanced placement course on African American studies from being taught in Florida schools. He says Florida's current standards for teaching Black history are, quote, cut and dried history, and that multiple lessons in that particular course go too far. Here he is.
We want education, not indoctrination. This course on Black history, what's one of the lessons about? Queer theory. Now, who would say that an important part of Black history is queer theory? That is somebody pushing an agenda on our kids. And so when you look to see they have stuff about intersectionality, abolishing prisons, that's a political agenda.
It's the latest in a long
He's right.
line of culture war battles that DeSantis has been happy to fight amid growing speculation that he will run for president. Steve Contorno is out front in St. Petersburg, Florida, with new details. So, Steve, we just heard DeSantis say, he laid it out very clearly why this course is not welcome in the state of Florida. What else do you know about that is part of the curriculum?
Aaron, this is going to be a study of the African-American experience from a whole bunch of perspectives and subjects. It's going to include not just history, but also arts and humanities and politics and geography. So it's going to include a lot of topics that you would expect. We took a look at the syllabus, and there's things on it that you would expect in a course like this, like Civil War and Black communities, Black suffrage and women's rights, and civil rights leaders. It also includes exposing kids to things that they might not have had a chance to learn previously, like Western African empires and Black musical innovation. But there's a number of topics in the final section that the DeSantis administration.
And here's the thing, that part, he doesn't have a problem with. The Florida Department of Education, they don't have a problem with it. There were specific parts of the curriculum of the course that they had a problem with.
Administration has raised objections to, and this includes the topics that are things like Black feminism, Black queer studies, and reparations movement. And the DeSantis administration says that the concepts and the writings in these sections overlap and intersect with critical race theory, which, as you know, has been banned in Florida, and also may violate a new state law which says that you cannot teach that someone might be oppressed or privileged based on their race or color. So it's a small section of the course, actually just 6 topics in a course that's going to cover more than 100 topics over the course of a year, Aaron.
That's right. So if there is only a small group of topics out of a course of hundreds of topics, then clearly he doesn't want to ban Black history or abolish African American history. All of that is nonsense because there is, again, a small group of topics that just don't belong in this high school AP course, because these topics are queer theory and critical race theory. And I will guarantee you they're going to be taught with the lens that this is how they should be, how Black people should see the world and how white people should see Black people. You cannot teach, you should not teach that Black people are less than white people or white people are better than Black people. Yes, that sounds like an agenda.
And that's what the objections were about, that those specific 6, or what were they? Was there anything else?
Yeah, so it's really interesting. Most of the objections are actually around the writings that are suggested as part of this coursework, because they come from Black thought leaders or activists or historians who the DeSantis administration says have pushed for ideologies that they don't want being taught in Florida schools.
Yes, because they come from people like Eduardo Bonilla. What is his name? These teachings come from people who push critical race theory, like Gloria Ladson Billings and Eduardo Bonilla Sabilla, whatever his name is. It comes from people who fundamentally believe that they are forever oppressed in America, despite them being wealthy in America. They come from people, these ideas, the people that are responsible for those writings in the sections that are not going to be included in this AP course, comes from people who fundamentally believe in critical race theory and queer theory. So why in the world would we want our children to learn from people who don't have an objective view on African American studies? Why would we want? They don't have an objective view. They don't have. They believe these ideas, and it's not true. The things that they believe aren't even true. So why would we be introducing this to young minds without critical thinking? Because you know good and well that it's not going to be a critical thinking exercise. It's going to be, this is what it is. We know that. Let's not even play games.
Schools like communism. Now, I talked to a teacher who is currently instructing this class at a high school, and she is just baffled by this assertion that this is somehow injecting politics or ideology. This is a study of these topics that have been instrumental in civil rights movements of their era. Like, how do you talk about the civil rights actions of the last 20 years without mentioning the Black Lives Matter movement, which...
Easy. Black Lives Matter is not something that the majority of Black people actually even agree with. Not the movement, no. Most Black people do not agree with that. No, they did not want BLM coming in there and tearing down their neighborhood. Why would you even include, as if that represented the majority of Black history? It doesn't. It does not.
DeSantis says shouldn't be taught because they push for abolishing prisons. So, Aaron, this is what they are using to convince people that this course should not be allowed in Florida when it is widely available in 2024.
All right. Thank you very much, Steve Contorno. And I want to go now to...
I don't care if it's widely available. What is he talking about in 2024? Well, it's 2023, boo. I don't care if it was widely available all around the globe. If it's wrong to be taught, then it's wrong to be taught. Okay? It makes me no difference if it's widely available. Okay, well then you let the parents and go and teach. If they want to teach their kids that you ain't never gonna be nothing because you Black and you in America, then y'all go ahead and do that. Leave my children out of it.
To Eric Erickson, host of the Eric Erickson Show, and Bakari Sellers, the former Democratic member of the South Carolina House of Representatives. So, Bakari, what do you say to Governor DeSantis and his defense for blocking this course in Florida?
Well, I would say to Governor DeSantis, if he was in front of me, I would say that your blatant ignorance is showing. He asked the question, who would care about Black queer studies? I would say that the king of rock and roll, Little Richard, was a Black gay man. I would say that the architect,
which he denounced later on in his life. Little Richard denounced all of it later on in his life. So again, an incomplete story, not a objective view on and what the freak does who you are sexually attracted to. What does that have to do with teaching history? Like, what? Tell me. Like, why is that even okay? Why would that be a major part in who he was as a musician and the music that he created, who he liked to sleep with, who he was attracted to? Why? Why would that be important? And of course, they're going to bring out little Bakari sellers because to keep the black people in line, because that's what he's there for. While he is well paid, he lives well, he is so-called well educated, but he is telling all the black people that follow him that they're oppressed, not telling them, showing them what he did to get where he is. But he's telling all of them, oh, you know what, you can't, I'm sorry, you can't make it in America. For you, I made it, but sorry for you.
In my heart, Aaron, it infuriates me because I have to defend my blackness.
You got to defend your blackness. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? You have to defend your blackness? Somebody tell me in the comments, what does defending your blackness mean? What does that mean? How do you defend your blackness? What? Because you march in a BLM rally? Because you are, I'm going to fight to make sure this curriculum is, what does that even mean? I got to defend my blackness. My blackness doesn't need defense. And I am neither shamed nor proud. It is just an immutable fact that I am black. What does that have to do? How do you defend your blackness? These people get on my nerves. I cannot with these people. They are literally there to try to keep other black people down. That is what they're doing. That is their only purpose for coming on these shows. All the liberal whites and all the liberal blacks to come on and pretend like they just love the little poor black folks and we have to fight for their rights. Oh, please. You know, the left wants black people to feel inferior so bad that there is no mountain that they won't climb and there is no valley that they will not descend upon to convince black people that you cannot make it in America. Yeah. Ain't no mountain high enough, ain't no valley low enough, ain't no river wide enough to keep whites from you. That's it for today, everybody. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share this video if you found it valuable. And click on the next video so you can be completely entertained. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.